One of my favorite things about A Doll's House Part 2 is whether you are an enormous fan of the Ibsen play A Doll's House, or you've never seen it before, you can enjoy this show. Lucas Hnath, who's the playwright, cheekily titles this Part 2, which I think makes everybody laugh kind of when they first see it, because A Doll's House is not a play you think of as having a sequel. And that kind of irreverent title tells you a lot about what this play is like.
One of the things that I really love about this show is how every character's perspective makes sense, even though they're all different. Even though they all come from different places, see things differently, each one has a point to make, and I would say makes it pretty well.
It's very contemporary, and it's incredibly relevant if you have ever been part of a family, if you have ever had an employer, if you have ever been a mother or been a child. It really delves deep into some questions that are left unanswered at the end of Ibsen's A Doll's House. And I think there's something in it for everyone who's, wondered what their place in their family is and what their place in the world is.
And I'd like to think that you could look around the audience while this is playing, and there might be a few sidelong glances between partners and say, "Oh,
you say that."
Hey, Bob," that kind of thing. But I think Laura's right. I think it resonates easily with a lot of people in a good way. I think it's exploratory. It's honest. It's incisive. I think there's a lot of reasons why people should have that discussion, should look at each other and say, well, what about that?
Yes, it's set 15 years after Nora left Torvald, which would be late 19th century Norway, but a lot of the language is certainly not turn-of-the-century language, and the way the actors are approaching it. It's a sparkling 95 minutes contemporary take on marriage and motherhood.